At the end of last year, we posted our top 10 names, which we do every week on our app and on our website. They're actually posted every day the market's open. But on December 31st of last year, these were our top 10 names. One of them was Generac Holdings, Inc., GNRC. It was the second best performing name from that December 31st cohort. It was up more than 82% over the next 6 months. And now it is one of our top 10 holdings again. Generac makes home generators and energy storage equipment, and it got a boost from the winter storm in Texas in February that knocked out a lot of power, and presumably it's getting a tailwind now from the heat waves and concerns about blackouts and power outages. Some of you may have heard the mayor of New York last week was really urging citizens of New York City to use less power in the event or to prevent there being power outages. But let's take a look and see how we can limit our risk in Generac over the next several months in the event we're wrong about it this time. We were right with our prediction that it would do well last December, but who knows? Maybe it won't do well this time, so it's always good to look at hedging your bets. So the first thing we'll do here is enter the symbol for Generac, which is just GNRC. And then we'll enter a number of shares, and I'll enter 1,000 here. And then the next step is to indicate how much risk we're willing to take. What's the largest decline we're willing to risk? A lot of times when we do this, we use 20% just because it's a good balance between lowering the cost of hedging and not taking on too much risk. But with the app, you can pick any number you want and scan for optimal hedges. So why don't we try 17%? And we'll start with our default timed expiration. And let's see what we get. We're presented with an optimal put hedge expiring on January 21st. And the cost here is 7.38% of position value, or 13.81% annualized. So let's try a different timed expiration. Let's try going out to November and seeing what that looks like. And here, the cost as a percentage of position value goes down to 5.02%. The annualized cost is 13.88%. Let's double check to see what it was. And so it actually, this is interesting. The annualized cost is slightly higher if you go out only to November. It's 13.81% if you go out to our default expiration, January 21st, in this case. And then November 19th, it's a few basis points higher. It's 13.88%. Interesting. Okay. So the other thing we can do to potentially lower cost is indicate that we're willing to cap our possible upside. So let's try using 17% again and see what we get. And here we're presented with an optimal collar that will protect us against a greater than 17% decline in Generac between now and January 21st. While not capping our upside at less than 17%, and the cost here is negative 1.35% of position value, or negative 2.53% of position value annualized. That means that you would collect a net credit of $5,900 when opening this hedge, assuming, to be conservative, that you placed both trades, buying the puts and selling the calls, at the worst ends of their respective spreads. In practice, of course, you can often buy and sell options at some price between the bid and the ask. So in reality, you probably would have collected a net credit greater than $5,900 when opening this hedge on Friday. something to consider if you're long Generac and you want to limit your downside risk.